So I want to talk about why I quit Warframe, and I'm coming back, making a new account. So it's the perfect time to talk about it. We'll discuss while I'm running through the tutorial. Dude, this is a hype one too. I don't know what I'm gonna run. I think I'm gonna run Excalibur. I could go Volt. There's a he's S tier? Wait, he got a huge buff? That's perfect then. That's perfect. We'll play some Excalibur. Ah, my boy! Let's go! Dude, I love Volts. Dude, that has got to be the most brutal, man. Damn. Damn. Let's go! Oh my lord. I forgot about Mag. Alright, sweet. So we got all our settings back. We're basically back already. But I do want to talk about why I quit Warframe. Warframe, when I left, and still is, by far my most played game. Like, on Steam. I don't know what your guys' most played game is, but I have 2,500 hours on this game. Really, 2,500 hours, you think about it, you could really, you could do a lot in Warframe. Me, I didn't have full completion of the game. But I ran into a problem with repetitiveness. And a lot of that was on me. I decided that like my account was already pretty well progressed enough. And I decided that I wasn't going to really even like level up my character a whole lot. Which led to burnout because I ended up playing the same mission types over and over and over again. And a lot of them ended up being like relic cracking missions. I'd do like dailies. I would do like what was the most valuable platinum per hour sort of actions, I guess. And that really does, like, after a while, you know, you kind of get bored of the game. Like, most of why I left was for competitive reasons. Like, I was really hankering for some PvP. And you guys know Enclave was a nightmare. Actually a nightmare. I mean, it just wasn't good, man. I don't know if anything's changed in the Conclave, but what was it? It was just Wolf Sledge meta. That's basically it. You just get insta-killed by Wolf Sledge. And so I was looking for games like Tarkov and just some like some more, I guess like Tarkov isn't even necessarily competitive, but just games where you can compete with other players and there's more of like a, not a prestige, but there's just different gameplay loops, right? I'm basically looking for a different gameplay loop, and it ends up being more like competitive FPS. The thing is you see games like that, and I don't know, it depends on how much you guys are in the loop with other video games, but I learned something that can destroy a game very quickly is greedy tendencies by the developers. And that's the one thing that you can really praise Warframe for, is not being a bunch of greedy a-holes, essentially, right? And in this game, they don't force you to pay money for advantages. Like, you can choose to pay money for progression, or most of it is just like cosmetics, right? But the people that spend money on the game, it's out of, you know, love for the game. It's not out of necessity to be able to play the game at to be able to stay competitive in the game, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. You know, that's something that I think plagues games anyways, because, like, you know, developers need to eat too, but there's just different ways of going about it, man. Sometimes when you're asking your fans for money, you do it in the most scummy ways, or at least not, you know, it's not you, but, you know, the developers end up doing it in not the nicest of ways. That, and I was missing, like, social aspects of games. In this game, it felt like the only social interaction I got playing Warframe was with the community. And to me, like, there's nothing wrong with, you know, interacting with community, but it just felt like the game was very, I mean, it's instance based, so the game can feel pretty lonely, especially when you're speedrunning stuff. And like, I've been playing World of Warcraft for several months, and World of Warcraft Classic, like, Kata and different versions of WoW have the same thing, where instance-based content makes the world feel very empty. But Classic, I've been playing a lot, and I really like that because it feels very like community-based. And I think that's what I was missing, was more social aspects. But to be fair, it was the playstyle. The playstyle led to a very isolated, like an isolated experience, because I was just instance grinding, just relic grinding. Even if I was getting into groups, it wasn't to like farm a prime with friends. It was typically just running random relics and cracking random relics, trying to get like the best pick. It's not necessarily that the game is very lonely, but it's not made in a way specifically where like dojos don't feel like a very mandatory social thing. They can be if you get into a dojo and you start building it up and progressing with people that you know or that you interact with. But most of the dojo experience is like joining a already existing maxed dojo and then just buying all the BPs for it. And that doesn't really feel social to me. But like I said, it was kind of on me for not picking the right play style or really like seeking out that type of content, because what you realize is games are kind of what you make them. I mean, surely the developers can kind of give you this product and they can tell you how to play it, but the beauty in it is a lot of games, you know, you can play them however you want. And so you can choose to be grinding in isolation, or you can choose to be social and have a lot of fun on a game. And I want to play with different play styles, because word to caution, anybody seeing this, that you play the game and you get locked into a certain playstyle. For me, it was platinum grinding. And if something, like, I would basically pay my way through new content. I would basically just buy whatever I wanted off the new content. And if I could make more platinum from old content and then just pay my way through new content, that's how I did it. And oftentimes, that's all you have to do. You just sit in trade chat, you make a bunch of platinum, then you just buy your way through the game. And that kind of ruins the appeal. It ruins the fun. I mean, if you like playing the game like that, more power to you. But you end up just paying your way through the game, and then you're like, what's the point of playing this content? But I do want to partake in the more social aspects of the video game. So probably end up doing viewer runs like we used to do, but more try to socialize in the game. I still have yet to figure this out, like what would be the thing. I guess region chat. I actually don't know. But the goal is to be more social. That's the goal. Sometimes you figure out where you want to finish. You start there. Start at the finish line, work your way backwards. But I do appreciate you guys for listening. Check me out on Twitch.